They double honors to our apostles and elders, spread millstones, salutations to all these sincere occupants, wishes right across the four corners of the world. We're out here again, prophesying the downfall of America, known as Babylon the Great. And we're just going to get into biblical prophecies, fulfilling that you see what's going on in current news, One of the things right now, you're seeing Biden administration, they're announcing this door-to-door about enforcing of the vaccine. So that's a part of the image of the beast you see a lot of people about to ready to partake in. Especially 2/3 of the nation of Israel,
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 124, starting at verse 1. If it had not been the Most High, Yahweh, who was on our side, now might Israel say, if it had not been for the Most High Yahweh, who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us.
And this is talking about the other nations, how they trying to come against the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. Because these other nations, beginning with the top ones, these elites, they know exactly who we are. It's just majority of our people not in that type of mindset, knowing who you are in this last time, Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4, then the waters had overwhelmed us. The stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our souls. Blessed be the Most High Yahweh, who has not given us up a prey to their teeth. Verse 5, then the proud waters had gone over our souls.
Yeah, the proud waters. This is referencing to Esau, Edom. Beginning with their armies, Let's get Isaiah 59:19. Catch it up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west.
Yeah, over here in the western hemisphere,
And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall lift up a standard against him.
So the enemy, beginning with the tabernacle of Edom, you read the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it talks about the tabernacle of Edom. That's our main enemy. That's our arch enemy. They're also trickling on down to these other nations. But Esau's going to come down like a flood. That's going to his medical martial law, man. Because when they come in, they're going to come in droves, streams. Like I brought out the other day, you watch movies like The Gladiator, or you watch shows like Spartacus, they talk about the Roman Empire. When the Romans, they came in droves, those legions. They came in streams. This is the extension of the Roman Empire, America. Esau's going to do the exact same thing, man. He's coming down for those Israelites,
Book of Luke chapter 6, verse 47. It said, whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently, but that house said upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon the rock. Verse 49. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great.
Yeah, so that foundation is Yahweh Shai, man. That tried cornerstone, as it says. Let's take this Colossians 2:7. Sorry, verse 6.
This book Colossians chapter 2 verse 6. As ye have therefore received Yahweh Shai HaMashiach the Lord, so walk ye in him.
So you walk in him like you follow the Lamb whithersoever he going, That's how you spiritually kiss the Son, You doing the way that Yahweh Shai commanded us to do. And one of the main ways he told us, go out there on the highways and byways, Bid them to the marriage. That's begin with the elect, okay?
Then you go into the word walk. You go to a manner of life, You say walk, ye Yahweh Shai. Like I said, this is a lifestyle, man. This grace period is for us to establish a lifestyle within Yahweh Shai. That's why the chaos hasn't came yet, because the elect have to get to a certain point where we will be able, the hopeful elect will be able to endure, man. So this grace period will for us to grow into a lifestyle of Yahweh Shai, man.
We didn't come over here, you know, it wasn't set up for us to be NBA players or try to make it here in this society, man. This place is already set up for our punishment, you know? So while we're going through this punishment, this is our grace period at the same time as a hopeful elect. And this is Yahweh Bashim Shai. He just like rallying us up in the spirit to get us right to withstand these hard, you know, these troublesome times, man. It's Jacob's trouble, okay?
Yeah, they're trying to be faithful.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's all about the endurance, that's why the scripture says when you read the book of the Matthew 24th chapter, it says those that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Endurance is resistance training, man. So our lives is nothing but a training or the classroom to prepare us for that particular final exam, which is the coming of the day of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Verse 7, rooted and built up in him, all right, which is Yahushua, establishing the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua.
Yeah, because you got your eye single and spiritual eye salve, you're not going to be wavered by these wayward doctrines, man. Because your eye going to be single upon Yahushua. As you can see, and nowadays, who he's mainly working for, it's coming out more and more blatantly that who Yahweh Bashim Shai is dealing with. Let's start with the apostles and elders, great millstone, and the sincere Akim on down, man. So that's how you, as it says, as you have been taught. So that's taught by, first and foremost, by apostles and elders, and their elders, you know, their white spirit.
Those little despised sanctuaries throughout the globe.
Yeah, I'm still on the Maccabees. I go to Maccabees. Second Maccabees 15-7. But Maccabees had ever sure confidence that Yahweh would help them. But for he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and not to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty.
That's right, man. And you think about it, you know, we think about it through the spirit, we in the last days, and you know how Esau's going to come down with that great wrath. So you go back in the scriptures, as it says, whatsoever was written 4 times written for our learning, you look and see like all the times that our forefathers, when they called upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, they were delivered, man. Look what the apostles went through. You know, they got beat for teaching the name of Yahushua. You know? So nothing's new on the sun. So everything's being played back around because those same spirits are back here on the earth today, which is the process called reincarnation, man. So that's what we got to expect, you know, in the spirit, man. That victory in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua with Esau, along these other nations come down with that great wrath.
This is Sirach 2:10. It said, look at the generation of old and see, did any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Yep, because just like the brother's going into, you know, we have to meditate, you know, on the accounts of our forefathers, and they would get in these tight situations, you know, and Yahweh Shema Shah will deliver every time. And because it's going to get very uncomfortable, you know, if you're not complying with this beast system, man. You can prepare for it to get real uncomfortable for not bowing down to this beast, man. And we're going to see people, you know, that right now, you know, is saying how they're going to take a tough stance and what they're not going to do. They're going to fold because Esau is about to stop. All right, he's about to start cutting you out of society if you're not complying. And over there in the EU, all right, you pretty much got to have that jab to go to restaurants and bars, man, to travel. In Russia, you can't go to restaurants and chill out in Russia if you ain't got the jab, man. And that's coming to America, man. And then, right before I was leaving the house, they say it's a spike, you know, in cases again due to the Delta variant. And they said 92% of the cases is from people that's unvaccinated. You see? So they're getting ready to push the propaganda that you people that's not vaccinated are the problem, you know?
And that a new variant they saying has a string within it that now it is infectious to children. You know, the first go around, the adolescents were not able to get it, but now the school is about to be approaching again. So now the children have the capability of being infectious as well.
That's right.
Allegedly.
That's right. When you actually go to those alternative websites like Natural News, they bring out like people who are fully vaccinated. Those are the ones that's passing on this Delta variant, man. But you know, of course, with Esau's mainstream news, dealing with this witchcraft, he's selling the people sorcery, you know?
Yeah.
These people in ghost gardens, so you already know they're going to already abide to it, you know?
Hey, and Esau's so wicked when school does start back, the kids haven't been vaccinated, they liable to use your kids to apply pressure. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you don't, your child hasn't been hit with the jab, so if you don't do it, then we're gonna pretty much play the role of child protective services and not get your child back.
It's a
You
lot
know?
of angles you gonna use.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be fights. You know, children gonna fight. You know, your punk ass ain't got the back. You know how kids is, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So hey, it's gonna be a lot of division, and the kids get into it, the parents gonna get into it. You can see a lot of division, man. It's right there.
No, I was gonna say a video came out. You know, some Jake out there in California, man and the woman had a baby, but they had the baby and didn't want to get it, you know, vaccinated, you know, with the regular vaccines. And then when they brought the baby back to the house, Esau had the goddamn military or the feds, whoever, with guns pointed at the man while he was holding the baby because they want to get him vaccinated. The social service called him.
Yeah, and that's called medical martial law. Man.
Medical martial law.
Medical martial law.
I got some for you. Not a lot. I got some else. You got it.
Okay, real quick. Revelation chapter 12, verse 15. It says, "And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood."
And that serpent represents Esau Edom, man. You go to Genesis and talk about he was more crafty than any beast in the field. That's that same spirit as we see today with Esau Edom, man. As he come out speaking lies, you know, everything that he does is crafty. And everything what he's trying to do is trying to put these people, you Israelites, back in slavery again, pretty much, man. But as it says, he know it that he has but a short time.
Yep. They was going to 70 AD. You know, Jacob ran out of there, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And he saw that same flood, same serpent,
Yep.
that dragon, that devil, you know, and because he come in both physically, like a flood with his armies, to surpass and encamp around the children of Israel. And he also come with the spirit and words of philosophies to entangle them up in lies, right, and disappointments, and systematic racism, and perpetual hatred, you know. Hey, because truth of the matter is, you don't like us. And we understand and know that, you know. Those with the eyes that are open and the ears that are unclogged to hear the true interpretation of the understanding between Jacob and Esau, we understand that. It's just the 2/3 of our people and those of the elect who haven't been awakened just yet, who are still entangled in that web of what would you call it, confusion, or still sitting in that dust of confusion because the Heavenly Father has not enlightened them just yet, man. Hey, but when the whole entire planet Earth, the nation of Israel, understand and wake up to the true identity of who they are and who their enemy truly is, man, our big brother Yahweh Shah is gonna be in those clouds, man.
I got a quick news break that came through. It says CDC, Texas health officials confirmed case of monkeypox in Dallas. It said the first case of monkeypox in the United States in nearly 20 years was confirmed Friday by officials with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Texas Department of State Health Services. The patient, described as a U.S. resident who recently traveled from Nigeria to Texas, is currently hospitalized in Dallas. The CDC says the agency is working with the airline and state local health officials to contact airline passengers and others who may have been in contact with the patients during 2 flights. So this can be another outbreak,
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox.
Yeah, he's from Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and it's gonna get wild,
Yeah.
man.
And notice it's called CDC, Center of Disease Control. Why it's not called Center of Disease No Cure?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they control it. They the ones, you know, unleashing these so-called outbreaks, man. That's right.
You had the movie in book 1984. He wrote George Orwell, and he basically broke it down that the whatever the agency was, they actually produced the opposite of the title. So the Ministry of Peace actually produced war.
Right. Peace.
Yeah. Yep. So and like all the agencies, they actually demonically produce the opposite of the titles. So the Center for Disease Control really be the center of disease manufacture.
Exactly.
And if you look at Hollywood, how many movies out there where the center of disease control actually did some good?
Right.
It was always plagues and pandemics that came from that epicenter, man.
But one of the main shows on Netflix, I'm not sure
What's up, man?
if it's still on there now, Contagion. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the
Contagion?
show. Yeah. And they show you how to send disease, what's it called? Center for Disease Control. I did, was the main ones pushing out that main disease outbreak, man, based in Atlanta, man.
That was a test.
It was a test, exactly.
It's all a test. Hey, because that's what a scientist is. A scientist take known elements and opposing agents, anti-agents, and they combine, they experiment, but it's all about containment. But human error causes the release of containment, man.
That's the name of that show, Contagion.
Containment. I remember containment.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting at verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
I was talking to somebody, this Lamb, build on that. I was talking to somebody because they're going into the drug era too. And the diseases that our people had in America, diabetes, high blood pressure, on top of what we're about to receive. All right? But crack cocaine, that was calling it a pandemic in the 80s. An epidemic in the 80s, a lot. Epidemic, and what do they call it there? A pestilence? A plague. A plague. Now I was talking to somebody, they had to pick up somebody from the crack house, right? And he was like, man, when I looked inside, it was like they were hit with a pestilence. He described like when he walked in the crack house, he started drinking that crack house, it was as though they got hit with a plague, man. So, and this is somebody that don't go into the, don't go into the curses. You watch American Gangster, they saw that first scene where everybody got hit with heroin. That was as though they got hit with an epidemic, man, with a pestilence.
If you think about it, like with those needles, dealing with heroin, crack cocaine, it's shaped like a sword, man.
Wow.
Because it's manufactured by Esau Edom,
Wow.
man.
And Pastor I said that too, like a baby sword.
Yeah, dealing with that max, exactly,
Then will the Lord Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
And now Esau about to bring some more swords, some more plagues, man. Because he's the harbinger, he's the progenitor. He generates death. That's his thing. He spawns death. When you go into the history of our people, we spun life. We spun inventions that made life easier. We created the music that made you feel your spirit full of life. We have created food that filled your spirit full of life. So the nation of Israel, we generate life. Even going to Jake ruling in the Dark Ages, Jake was building. Jake was under the Islamic reign, the so-called Moors, which are Israelites. They was coming up with those different forms of geometry and build those houses, build those cities, right? We build life. But Esau, he builds death.
That's right. Because you go into the word probiotics, it goes into life.
Wow.
When you go into antibiotics, it's against life, man. But who always manufacturing, pushing out these antibiotics, man?
You gotta kill the good and bad. It's gonna kill the good bacteria too.
But Esau show you his whole demeanor like a lot of these movies, man. And I know one that's been brought out is The Lion King. Everything was fruitful, what I'm saying, looking good. But when Scar got there, everything got dark, dying out. But that's like when they at their happiest time, when death is all around us, man.
And the element.
That's it.
You notice it was dry bones out there?
Yeah.
Where Scar was in rule?
Yeah.
It
was all gray and dull.
Gray and dull.
Man, a quick point too, is by way of these various diseases they releasing, these different variants, basically it's all associated with witchcraft. My brother had put up a post, say CB19 variants. And basically all the different letters of the Greek alphabet, they basically pushing them out. Not all of them, but they started pushing that. They started with the delta, all right, and next is the lambda, all right. But it's all sorcery, man. There's some recent article speaks about the lambda variant of C19 coronavirus is spreading. So where it come from? It started with the delta. You got it. Yeah, I got you.
So, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yeah, backing up the elders was just bringing out, man. Everything that he does is functioning off just doing wickedness, man. You know, you watch that cartoon, Peaking the Brain, how he wanted to come take over the world. And how is that, by the way? Of just doing mischief on the earth, man. He's the one causing havoc around this whole world, man. Because as it says that the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So he's doing his job as the wicked on the earth, man. So we can't get mad at him necessarily because he's being in order by Yahweh by Shemel, you know?
This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Great sword, man. As you see, it comes in many forms, man. The sword with his lies, you know, dealing with the witchcrafts, the sorceries. Because, you know, if you're on a shade of blackness thinking that everything is all good, you're in that state of confusion. And as it says that the man that went out of
Way the Most High.
yeah, it's Proverbs 21:16.
Sharper.
Y'all
Man,
get that?
sharper,
Yeah.
Butchery.
Yeah, because if you're in that state of confusion, man, you consider it as dead in this lifetime, man. You know?
Yeah, so he had the power to take peace from the earth, man.
Yep.
You know, because World War III, all the conflict that we see happening in the planet Earth is linked back to Esau Edom, man. You know? Because this man hates to see peace in the earth, man. He hates to see any type of unity, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we did that Google search a couple years ago or so, with all the wars that happened around America or whatever. I forgot how many it was at the time frame, man.
And it's like, you know, 90% of the time since America's been, you know, countries been at war, man. Americans on the offense, man. America's not defending themselves from an outside invader. You know? They're always on the offense, man.
The emperor of the earth. Fully.
Yeah. You look at the reason why it's the North and South is because of America, man. You know? You look over there now with Taiwan and China. Who's in the mix of that? America. And now they done drug Japan into it. Then they drug Australia into it, man. You know? The India and China. Alright? They into it. Why? Because of America, man. You know? All these nations, the Saudis, Iran, they into it because of who? America. Because America has the biggest military base over there in Qatar, which is right there on the coast of Saudi Arabia. You see? So if you look at all these conflicts in the earth, it goes back to Esau Edom, chief of America, showing that he is the man that was given power to take peace from the earth, man. And he's doing a hell of a job, man. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, this book, Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
So just backing up that state of confusion, man, because by Esau Edom blasting out his flood of lies, we got all these people in gross darkness, man. By the ways of his witchcraft, dealing with this mainstream media, because everybody be tuned in what they hear and see on mainstream news. They don't have the spirit enough or have some type of spiritual awareness, look up alternative news, things of that sort, man. They just believe everything that they hear and see on mainstream news. That's one of Esau's main hubs of his flood of lies out here.
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
So as you can see, the wicked right now is in rule, man. That says that favor be shown to the wicked. So that's why you see all these different outbreaks going on through society, chaos. You see the ordeal going on with South Africa. You know, we were talking about earlier this week with Haiti. You know, dealing with that president, what he did, he didn't want to accept the vaccine. He was more into about getting into the herbs, man. So what did Esau do? He came with his his warfare on him, man. So anytime you go against this beast system, you already gonna know that Esau's gonna come with his armies, his troops, man.
This Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man look well to his going. You know what I'm saying?
And 2/3 of our people are considered simple, man. You know, they don't try to check things out. They don't question things. They just go with the flow, man.
Yep.
That's what type of individual Esau want for his new world order. Don't question it. Just be like a robot.
Yeah, 'cause you got a lot of J's, they like, I'm gonna just take it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't waste your time with the link poops, man. And because trying to explain the simplest thing to someone with no understanding is like trying to drive a thumbtack through a steel rod, man. You just can't do it. And you can try over and over and over and over again, but you just frustrate yourself to oblivion.
All right, this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and getting to the point. All right, verse 9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Lying wonders, man. That's a part of his miracles, man. By his flood of lies. Because what he does, that's nothing but witchcraft upon the people. Everybody be consumed by it, you know. That's something for the hopeful elect, the nation of Israel, because we the ones that's a hopeful elect, got that spiritual eyesight out. And we can see through these lies, man. That's by that spiritual intervention, you know.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Israelites, you know, because it said that they might be saved. And we know it's talking about our people who are deceived by this lying wonders. You know? And because, you know, when we came into the truth, we came out of enchantment. We was living our life based on enchantment. See? Lying wonders, the feminist movement. You see? Integration. You know? The college, you know, the American dream, all those were nothing but lying wonders, man. You know, happy wife, happy life, all these things, you know, that R&B music, they were part of lying wonders, man. You know, worshiping the woman, the queen of heaven energy, all these things were lying wonders, and everyone is caught into it, because if you're not, that's why people say, if possible, he would deceive the very elect, showing that what everyone else is deceived. You know, you might have something like, now they call it woke culture. Even that's a deception. You think you woke. You know, that's a deception. You in the dream within the dream.
Right.
You know, you just woke up in one dream. You still in the dream, man.
There's layers to it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know?
That's one of the reasons why when Esau is going to these countries or whatever, man, they make sure they go ahead and take over the radio stations, the television stations, any kind of, you know, news people or magazines. They get in control of the media more or less. That way they can control what the people hear, what they see, and they can dictate it any way that's going to help accommodate their agendas. That's right.
Go to that word media that we always bring up. Just go into that word medium. You know, that's what Esau does with his different lies that he puts out there on TV, on mainstream news. He's trying to channel your energy, your thoughts, man, to believe into this beast system, you know?
Yeah, it's like a rerouting. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you go down a detour road and you got your GPS typed in and it reroutes you to a different route. So Esau routes your true conscious mind in the direction that he would rather it go.
That's nothing but a form of MK Ultra, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's been that mediator on the left hand
side.
on the left hand side.
That's right. You think about his project Blue Beam, you know what I'm saying? How he's gonna fake a second coming
Right.
of our Lord, you know?
Yeah.
So all those are part of his lying wonders, man. Because everybody is really just they all consuming his technology, man. That was a gift that was given to him, you know?
Psalms 141 and 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity.
That's right. The prodigal snares are going to his traps, man. We're not ignorant to say his devices, you know? Because, like I said, you know, that's the spiritual eyesight that we can see past through his lives. And that's, hey, we gotta get things to you. How about you not try for it? Or else we could be like majority of our people, just believing to things going back to normal in this setup. And here he is with this Delta variant. They keep pushing it out. They letting you know that things like ready to get rough out here, man. Just down here in Jackson, Mississippi, NBC News was down here at the Children's Hospital talking about things getting rough here. So we already know they about to do another lockdown in this country, man. You know?
Yeah, and with these diseases, they are releasing that shit, man. Now, they was playing with them numbers, but that COVID shit is real. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe that shit real till you end up getting that shit. That's a lot, bro. Yeah, you don't believe it's real till you get it, you know? That's a lot.
He just has people overreacting to it. You know, because basically just a cold variant. That's all it is, a cold variant, man. But see, the media have you so hyped up, and they tell you that you got it, you know, you really start overreacting, overworking your body, you know? Yeah, so he adds, like this man is a master, you know, in witchcraft. That psychology on the left hand side. Because all it is like it's a variant of a cold. People getting the cold, but acting like they getting AIDS, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
A non-curable disease.
Yeah. It's a 99,
98 to 99,
you know,
survival rate, man. You know?
Hey, if I can just bring this out real quick. Sirach 38, because you're going to trust in Yahweh from outside. All right? Sirach 38, verse 4. Yahweh have made medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So, hey, like the Spirit was on me to speak on it, you know, get into it. We're supposed to already have medicines of the earth in our body. You know, it's part of our culture, part of our heritage. You know, you can ascertain that was part of our heritage to drink teas a lot. Nobody drink tinctures. You know, like Elam, they drink teas, part of their heritage. Moab, they drink teas. But what's in those teas? Those medicines. You know, the antioxidants, the black tea, green tea, you know, the clove, the star anise. You know, that's not saying you're not gonna get anything, but you already building up a defense in your body, so if you get something, you can knock it out. Oregano oil. You know, so that's another thing I noticed with the witchcraft for Edom is that when you get it, or when people get it, their mind don't go to the herbs. Not like, damn, give it a try. So it's part of that witchcraft. Well, I got it. I need to go get the jab.
It's just resistance training, you know? Hey, because if you want to have physical strength to where you want to win a battle, you want to win a war in hand-to-hand combat, you have to go out and do some type of resistance training, which helps you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get knocked out. It doesn't mean that you're not going to lose. It just means that you have a better fighting chance versus someone who didn't train. When you go into, you work on your physical health, right? You're eating right, you take your herbs, you take your medicines, the lubricants of the earth, right? It doesn't mean that you'll never fall ill. It just means you have a better fighting chance versus someone who drinks soda pops all day and eat their Mickey D's, who put no herbs, no benefiting factors inside of their bodies, right? It's all about the betterment of your humble abode, so to speak, because this is our, what the scripture call it, your temple. This is our temple, man. This is our house. And you got to keep your house clean. You got to take care of your house to the best of your ability, man. You can't neglect your house. We've seen the neglected houses in South Jackson, in West Jackson, you know? That's a horrible sight to see. So when you compare your body to something more precious than that, then you will tend to it better, man.
It's like a compromised immune system.
Yeah, compromise, you know? Hey, but this whole particular plagues and things that are in the air today, you know, they were designed to attack you. Like they were designed to go against everything that the earth has to offer you to prevent it from entering in. Like scientifically proven, we're gonna make sure that it enters in through this particular DNA. We're gonna make sure it enters in through this particular gene.
It's a weapon.
And it's a weapon. And that's why these particular different variants are out there right now, because Esau is modifying with the change. So he's changing with the change. So the resistance improves. He comes up with a different resisting factor, man. But it's all good because this battle is not ours. This is of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, ultimately.
If I could just add,
You got it, bro.
you know, I say, you know, you're gonna learn to trust in Yahweh Bashem
That's
Shai.
right.
You know, because even with the herbs, hey, it's not just the herbs. It's really trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's it.
We don't know, we don't have a counter plan for everything that Esau has. All we got is faith.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, the last man standing is the man that has faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Hey, what's the precept when it goes into when you take the herbs to pray unto the Father?
Let me get it right
Yeah,
there.
kind of. Hey, because that'll back up what you're saying. And because that's the most important thing from Jump Street.
Pray over the earth when you get it.
Yep, that's it.
You know, pray up in the Hebrew.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, even something as simple as the stones. The stones are beautiful to look upon and gaze upon. What if you never charge them?
Yep.
You know, you're defeating the factor of the Heavenly Father giving you these healing agents.
Yep. You gotta charge him.
And charging goes back into the faith and believing in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to do it.
Because we're like stones. And when we pray and we do videos and we study, you be getting charged up.
That's true.
And you got a spiritual defense.
That's true.
Because they're going to determine whether you get scared when the shit the fan or you get excited when the shit hit the fan.
Or you gonna shrug your shoulders.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever going to happen, going to happen.
Because you walk in the spirit like that, you connect more to that power source.
That's right.
Hey,
And it's still a nice stone.
Like, even right now, this topic getting us charged up.
That's right.
Because we are drawn and we are more inclined to Yahweh Shem Shai because we are doing what? We're simply believing that he is.
Hey, Yahweh Shai was that stone at the builders of furious, man.
That's it. That's it.
All right, Sirach, let me get the scripture. Sirach 38 and 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto Yahweh, and he will make thee whole.
That's faith right there. We're not putting our faith into the herbs or the medicines. We're putting our faith into Yahweh B'Shem Shai. He's going to allow the herbs and medicines to work for us, man. That's what it's all about. Faith at the end of the day, man. Because at the end of the day, all these things are going to be gone from these different herbs, these different medicines that we can be able to, reach to, these natural healings. Our only solution is going to be faith, man. That's going to be our sole source to get up out of here. Your faith. Faith. And Yahweh Shai is here on the scene. When he healed people, what did he say, man?
Your faith that made
thee whole, man.
That's right.
That's going to complete us in the spirit, Lord willing.
Yeah, come on. What was it?
Does it come?
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, in verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
So this stretched out arm is going to Yahweh Shai, his right hand man. As it says in the book of the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, it says his arm shall rule for him. And I was reading up going to the max. It said 25% of the vaccine in your arm, it goes straight to your arm. But the other 75%, it goes to your lymphatic system. That's where your bloodstream is, So once it start going to your bloodstream, that's when the mRNA kick in. That's when your blood start getting clotted. And a British Columbia doctor came out and said 62% of his patients who got fully vaccinated, they're going to die of heart failure, man. And that's how it's going to be, man, because our people trust into this system. You'll do no type of research or anything like that. Because you think about it, when you get your blood clotted, it's like 5 o'clock traffic. It's not going through smoothly.
And that means there ain't no fucking oxygen going to your organs.
Yeah, so that when you get that vaccine, it's going to cause spike protein. So the protein starts getting spiky. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna cloud up your blood.
Yeah, there's a phrase out there that says that the earth is overcrowded. There's a phrase out there that says that we need to reduce population.
Yeah.
And those phrases came from the same individuals who saying, I need you to put this inside of you. But people don't get that.
Then it say, my people are led to the slaughter. Right? Because he's leading people, I say, through his media, man. Yep. He's leading people to go get, the jab. Because really, Esau Edom has turned the earth into a big death camp. Yeah. When you look at it, you always finding out something new that this man is doing that's causing death. You find out, the tuna ain't really fish, the chemtrail. You see? You find out, the water GMO. How you do that? This man has turned the planet Earth into one big death camp, man. That's why we have to get the liver out of here. There got to be so much destruction that comes. I got a quick article. I ain't gonna read it all. Alright, so this is on SciTechDaily.com. More vaccinated people are dying of CV in England than unvaccinated people. Here's why. Now it says C19 infectious disease, public health, the Conversation University of Bath vaccine. Now I'm gonna jump down. More vaccinated people are dying of C than unvaccinated people, according to a recent report from Public Health England. The report shows that 163 of 257 people, 63.4%, who died within 28 days of a positive C test between February 1st and June 21st, had received at least one dose of the vaccine. Death quotient, 60%. They've been led to the slaughter. They've been scared because what they call them, sheepdog. Yeah, the sheepdog. They're around them. It's like the media, man. They rounding up the sheep to, you know, dragging you to the slaughter, man. You know, putting you in that fence, man.
You said scaring them.
Yep. I got this Jeremiah 15. So like this Jeremiah 17:5. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusted in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai."
Yeah. Make your flesh your arm. Your arm is your strength. Especially you make the son of man your damn strength. Particularly Esau Edom. Like that's your safety net. I got a scripture to build on that.
It's to make flesh your arm.
Yeah. The irony, right?
One time I got bars.
Yeah.
Put your brother,
Hey, Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Hey, just another example. You know, Jakes that survived the Tuskegee experiment. You know, they holding up damn posters saying, you know, I took the jab, I took the max. You know, so why don't you? Well, you stupid.
Exactly.
You already seen it firsthand. You a firsthand witness that you can't trust Esau either.
Hey, y'all see that video with Juvenile?
Yeah.
Real?
Baxter
Baxter
flag up.
flag
Yeah,
up.
he really
Yeah,
did
he
that.
did it.
And then Bill X said her, Juvie, and Benny Fresh, they all fully vaccinated.
And I had seen this little clip, man, where the Red Cross has pretty much announced if you have taken a jab, they don't want you donating blood because something dealing with the jab messes with the plasma. So if you don't got a jab, you can't donate blood. So that right there should be like a red flag.
Oh, they don't want the blood no more? I thought the blood banks were relatively empty, man. Hey, but even we're talking about something dark and gloomy. You know, we're really talking about death, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. But the upside to that is how easy it is for general population to do this, which is so simple and it's so detrimental to your health. And we know, as it is written when you read the book of Revelation 14th chapter, going into that particular mark of the beast, right? The insertion of that RFID microchip, it's going to be hella easy for people to do. So the Heavenly Father is going to have so many people marked for death. And that's going to be one of the reasons why he says that my saints shall laugh, my saints shall eat.
Job 5:18.
You know, they shall rejoice. Because the Heavenly Father is going to make a great distinction to where it's going to be evident, man. You know, we're not going to really be meditating in fear, because if you people are so gullible right now, just to get an something for an anti-disease, man, the Heavenly Father,
Yeah.
prevent, please.
And the crazy thing about it be, hey, the pressure not even out there.
The
yet.
pressure not even pushing, bro.
You know?
Sheep led to a slaughter.
And that's what made me smile about that, because the pressure is not even being applied, man. And the scripture says that he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. That's gonna be hella pressure.
And they just so happen to be changing out the debit card system now.
Yep.
To where it's like you just fan it against the little Wi-Fi signal.
Get it tapped.
Tap.
Yep.
A lot of times the chip don't work.
Yeah.
They set it up to where your chip really don't work, so you gotta use a little Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and they call that contactless payments.
Contactless payments, man.
You know, the little payways. You got one of those. You got what they call that? Cash App card. You know, you got those little wave symbols on it.
Yep.
You know, so the chip go out. You just swipe it over the reader. You know.
Hey, let's go finish this right
Yeah,
quick.
tap it.
I know brothers building. Sirach 12:11. Though he humble himself, because he's on the news humbling himself. You know, we've got to come up with a jab. We have to make sure that the targeted population has the jab, has access. People who don't have cars. This nigga's humbling himself.
Yeah.
You know?
And you think so you think about when Esau, when he found out that Jacob put in for the blessing,
Yeah.
you know how he was trying to humble himself, like give me a blessing also Isaac,
Right.
you know, his father. And when you say this shall slay my brother Jacob, right after, man.
Got it.
You know?
He's going even further with humbling himself by what, man? You know, giving Jake unemployment boost.
Yeah.
All right, and child tax credit.
Yep.
You see, every month, you know, per child, the stimulus check, you know, the waiving of the mortgage. So the extra food stamps when the kids was out of school because of the pandemic. It's him humbling himself, man.
Building that trust.
That's right. That's right.
All right. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, still say. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
That's right.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent? And any such as come not wild beasts? Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent? You know its nature. You know its nature. Historically, you know his nature. If he's bitten in the past, he's bitten our people in the past.
Right.
What is he going to do in the present? What is he going to do in the future? And there was an analogy, I can't remember, like, you know, sharply, but it was something to the effect of a woman that saw a snake, the snake was starving, she brought it in, and then she fed it up to get back fat again, nurtured it, then the snake bit her, and she was like, why'd you do that to me? I nurtured you. Like, bitch, I'm a snake, it's my nature. This man, that's why you can't fathom racism. Why do they hate us based on how they look? It's in its nature. It's who you are.
The crazy part about it, dealing with Sleepy Joe Biden, going back to, you know, his younger years, he really said how he felt about Jake. You know, why he wouldn't have his children in public schools, you know, get the predators off the street, you know. In one of those hearings, basically, he was quoting somebody, but he was dealing with the situation within New Orleans, but he kept saying nigga, you know.
And he also said America's not messed up because of African Americans. Not only African Americans.
And this Ecclesiastes 1:15, it says, that which is crooked cannot be made straight.
And Esau's crooked. Esau's a crooked individual, man. You know, he's a crook, and he's also a crooked individual based upon his ways and his character, man. And because a righteous man walks the straight and narrow path.
And you go to the word crooked right here in the Edmund, the blue letter, it says falsify. You know, go back to Job 13.
He's the forger of lies.
He's the forger of lies.
So he's never going to not lie.
Yeah. So how is he going to forge your lies? Because he calls himself doctor. And the word doctor goes back to falsify.
When you doctor something up, when you modify it,
You modify it. You pervert it.
you pervert it.
And you know, you going to make a point.
Now, I was going to say, forge or forge also goes into form.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a former of lies. Like that's his gift. That proves he was that man in the garden. You know,
We say he's the father of lies.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And he's the individual on the left-hand side. And because the nation of Israel is what? The former of all things.
Right.
You know? So if we're the former of all things, Esau's the former of all lies, man.
that makes sense.
It makes sense because you got the perfect righteousness, and you got to have that perfect wickedness.
And the destruction of all things.
That's right.
That's that polarity.
He's he's death on two legs.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Most I had to say, hey, here, listen, never trust thy enemy. You know what's crazy? They let Bill Cosby go, right? And basically Americans still feel like, why they let this nigga go? They let a predator go. So we weren't supposed to trust Bill Cosby with his drinks, with his potions. We supposed to trust Esau Edom with his potion, man.
Like what Bill had anything.
Yeah, well, he created that, man.
Right.
You know? Just thought I'd make that point, man. It's interesting.
Hey, y'all know he fully blind, huh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the cataract got it, man.
This is Sirach 14:6. And it says, there is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. I just make a point. Edom can't be satisfied, man. You know? It's to the point, see, now he wants people's souls. It's not enough that he got all the resources. One of y'all probably brought it up recently. But I think Preacher Kai brought it up. Going back to that interview that Aaron Russo had with Alex Jones, speaking about what's his guy, Nick Rockefeller. You know, what you people want? You got everything in the world. Like, I mean, what more do you want? You know, they want the people shook. Esau envy himself, meaning he can't be satisfied, man.
That's right.
Hey,
At the end of the day.
yeah, Esau Edom is the God of this earth. He's the God of this world. And because even when Satan tempted Yahushua, he told him to do what? Bow down and serve him. You know, he wanted more than what was truly just necessary for him and Satan to have. He wanted to serve the Most High, man.
Yep. And dealing with the left hand side, you know, the wicked elite, because you gotta imagine, like El Bro was saying, we the righteous, you know, the sons of the Most High. So if we had money, you know, hey man, what Jay would do? Travel, and enjoy life. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Learn different languages. Like you like really get into your being. With them, it's like women ain't enough. Eating good food ain't enough. We gonna do. Like what you say?
So let me go to the laboratory. Right?
Yeah, going to the laboratory. I want some little boys. I want to drink blood. It's like things get more sinister. You know. So that's how we know who we dealing with, man.
No, I was gonna make a point just to back you up, because the children of Israel, the scripture says that man's heart's never satisfied, or the eyes are never satisfied from getting. But in abundance, we want the beauty of the earth. You know, we want nice clothing, nice jewelry, beautiful animals. Yep. To see the depths of the sea, live in pleasantry, live in peace. But Esau's eyes being never satisfied, he wants straight death. You know, he needs to see if he can make this tree rot from the top leaf all the way down to the single and last root. He needs to see how doped up and drug addicted he can become before he OD and have to be resuscitated back to life. He needs to see how many times can he rape this woman before she dies. You know, a thrill seeker of death. How many little kids can he fondle before somebody catches on to him? You know,
and he shows his nature through certain movies. Like we're talking about the Divide, when they were stranded in that house. Esau eventually put on a dress and put on a woman's clothing, but they raped the woman. The movie Hunger, and you know they show when he was starving, he started to eat his mom's corpse. You know, but like he shows his nature through certain movies, and Esau is very sinister.
Right.
He's very left field.
Right.
You know,
Scripture says the soul in him is not
upright.
Yep. Right. He's the real pervert.
Yeah. Ultimately, can't get right.
He's evil.
And that's what 2/3 of our people gonna really find out. And we at them times, man. That's beautiful, man. Hey, for y'all gonna go ahead and worship Esau in this system, man, that's beautiful. You gonna really find out the devil that he truly is, man. All the times that we've been out here in the years, starting with our apostles and elders, been trying to warn you all always came against us, man.
Right.
You always been our people come against us for bringing out who the true devil of the earth is.
Hey, because our people loved Egypt while we were in the captivity in Egypt, and as Pharaoh was pursuing us, they were in fear. But when they saw him being cast up, what they do? They rejoiced and they sang songs. The Most High has thrown Pharaoh and his army in the depths of the sea and drowned in the depths of the sea. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take something miraculous of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, stepping in, and y'all looking at him and saying, he is the Lord my power. He is the Lord my God, man. And that's all he wants. For you to acknowledge your offense, seek my face.
In that movie American Legend by Geronimo, when it came out at the end, and when they was about to get ready, you know, they got booed up, they got caught with them. And so Geronimo, he was trying to tell them, hey, you all should have listened to me, man. But those Selite Gadites, they thought that by helping Esau, they was going to get a position within his army, you know. But they found out that they had to go right along with Geronimo to that prison camp, man. So one of the Gadites cursed out the Gadites who sold out. And that's how 2/3 of our people going to find out in these last days. Y'all be like, man, I wish I listened to you all, man. Y'all been saying it, man. It's going to be too late for the majority of our people, man. So good riddance, man.
Yep, so be it. You got something for you up? Revelation 12:17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahushua.
That's how we know, oh, this is a cover-up, because really he's going after the elect. Really he's going after the prophets. So you said another point? Really he's going after the prophets, man, because that shows you in the scriptures. The whole medical, martial law, all these things, he really, we call it the censoring on YouTube. Yeah, that's a direct assault against the prophets, man.
Yeah,
Council culture.
Speaking about basically removing us from these platforms because of misinformation.
Yeah.
You know,
What about freedom of speech? We spread it loud, we want to. If it's misinformation, just let us say what the fuck we want to say.
Yeah, they can simply be our opinion.
Yeah, right.
You know?
They don't keep the covenant they have with their own.
Yeah, right.
it's supposed to have freedom of speech.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, he talk about us. We can't even speak up and defend ourselves. But Esau has an opinion about us. He calls us minorities. We're not minorities. He calls us niggas. We're not black.
Extremists.
He calls us extremists. We're not extreme. You know. He calls us poor.
Yeah.
He calls us uneducated. He calls us ignorant. We're none of those things, man. But we have to accept your opinions. But we have to be sensitive.
You don't want another narrative on the earth that challenges your narrative.
Right.
You know?
And then it says he was wrong with the woman.
Right.
He went to Israel, they written, you know. And then Esau knows, like, because the scripture talks about in Ezekiel how, you know, he's wiser than Daniel.
Yep.
There's no secret that they can hide from you. Because you best believe every brother, especially at GMS, they got a challenge. Esau has agents that watch your every move, man. You know? And they see his brother is for real. Like, this is lifestyle. Like, these are the guys. Like, they not, you know, enchanted by none of this shit. You know? And that's who's sticking out. And that's what has some anger, because he's throwing out all these enchantments and it's not working. These men are still staying the course. They cussing me out and everything. You know? They're not entertained with my society. You can see? You know?
And you watch different shows like Narcos or these different drug movies, how these different alphabet agencies, they always had those particular drug lords on their walls, you know what I'm saying, plastered up. So if they're going to come for them, how much more of us prophesying downfall of Esau's rulership, man? Right. So you already know they're going to come down on us when they break down. Hey, back up what you said, Elder Z, hey, Psalm 83:3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. You know, you go to the word hidden ones, it goes to treasure. That's the treasure ultimately is talking about the elect, man. Because we are the ones, hopefully, that we are part of the hopefully elect. We're not compromised or enchanted by Esau's devices, man. 2/3 of our people, they're already walking into Esau's door, man. They already compromising the spirit. They already partaking to the image of the beast. So you already partaking to the image of the beast, worshiping this system, by going ahead and taking that max. Then you already know you're gonna be just free game for the mark of the beast, man. Because it's like it's a building block. It's gradualism, man.
Well, you know what? You hear this rapper, you might have seen the video. He was exposing how, you know, the homosexuality in the music system. He said, look, nobody just, you don't really see the person. They put you in different instances, in different situations, then they see how you react to it. Like, you will let this gay stylist rub on you, feel on you, and you ain't saying that. Let's bring him on to the next level then.
Let's see how far you can go with
Let's
it.
see how far we can go with it. Same thing with the jab. Okay, so you take the jab, all right, we'll see, okay. So you change up the debit card, when we gradualize the tool, but we didn't get no resistance, let's take it to the next level.
To the next level. That's part of him, man, how he does his diligent search, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to ease them panties off of it.
Exactly, man. That's what it is, man.
The Art of Seduction.
Yeah.
It's a book called The Art of Seduction. It's an audio version on the YouTube, man. It's a good book, you know, because it teaches you the true art. It's called The Art of Seduction, but it's really being charismatic, you know, in order to be perceived in a certain manner and also to be accepted in a certain manner. It really teaches how to be a chameleon, man.
Right.
But that's Esau either.
That's right. And you think about it, you know, how Esau is trying to seduce and check our people. Well, back to what you just said, like our people willingly taking their pennies off. You know what I'm saying? So what does it say when an adulterous woman, when she's betrothed to a man and she don't make no sound? What happened to that woman?
You gotta die.
She gotta be put to death, man. But we through the spirit, we sign the crime.
We
You know
crying.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so we sign crime for all the abominations done in the midst thereof, as it says.
Yeah.
So, hey, how about Sean Shine? He's gonna hear our cries, man.
Hey, this man's trying to put his thing in us. No, you know.
Hey, yeah.
But we crying though, we scream like help.
But that's a good point, because Israel's compared to a woman, and what Esau Edom wants to do is defile them. You know?
You got it right.
It's Isaiah 13:15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Yeah, so just like, because the scripture talks about a man and a woman becoming what? One flesh.
Yeah.
All right? And you're going to be one flesh with this beast, man. He's trying to merge you into his technology, man. Because they are talking about the jab is an operating system, man. You know, where he has nanotechnology, just like a Bluetooth. You know, this man has a damn Bluetooth in you, man. That means there's something else, way somewhere else that he can turn on and it can affect you, man. You see? And then it's gonna go into the MOB, which you're gonna fully lock it in, man. That's gonna fully, you know, join you to this beast system, man. You're gonna be like one flesh with this beast, man.
Now he and he knew thee.
Yep.
He went into your tent and knew thee. You know.
Woo!
Yep. Gave it up.
You're gonna be defiled as you coming on your house now.
You know? You don't want no horse.
That's also spiritual fornication. Yeah. And because you have made yourself Esau's, man. You made yourself Esau's possessions in place of the possession of Yahushua upon his returning, man.
You did it willingly.
You did it willingly. And because he's looking for the nation of Israel to be what? A beautiful bride adorned unto himself. But if you are beautifully made up for Esau Edom, you're playing the harlot, what you think's gonna happen?
Because it also says in the scriptures, if you go into a woman that's supposed to be a virgin, you hated her, and that goes until like you sleep with her and realize that she ain't no virgin, you gonna despise her, you take her up to the courts.
Man.
So same thing with Yahushua, he comes, bitch ain't no virgin. It tells you in Revelation that we're virgins. All right, go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Revelation 14, all right, in verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
All right, but there has to be a token. What's the token that you're defiled with women, or the philosophies of this world, or the beast? What's the token that you're sleeping with the beast? All right, because you got to put a step on you. All right, what's the token that you're not sleeping with the beast? All right, we scream. All right, so it's therefore we are virgins. So when Yahushua comes, because this is what Paul said, hey, I'm making you to like a virgin for the coming of Yahushua.
Maybe chase.
I espouse a chase means pure. I espouse you the one, and chase, you said the word chase. Chase goes back to pure. Like when you chastise somebody, you're purifying them. That's why it says,
No, I'm just saying, and you don't let Esau's syringe inside your equipment, man.
hey, like the elder Yashwama said, don't let Satan ejaculate in you, man. You know?
They jab like they're foreplay.
Yeah.
Yup.
Don't let him put his law in your inward part.
Yeah, his law in your ear. Exactly, man. No, put his, hey, cause look, what is sex? Hey, you put your DNA in that woman, right? What's that nanotechnology? That's his semen. That's his DNA.
That's right.
mRNA, right?
It said, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Hey, a faithful woman. You want a faithful woman. Well, Yahushua was a faithful woman. You know? You got it, brother.
And it says, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High, to the Lamb.
Hey, redeemed among men, we're purified, bought back. You know, we were in that filthy wickedness, but we got redeemed. And that's why it says in Proverbs, the blueness of a wound takes away evil. Something to that effect. But that blueness of the wound is like chastening of your how about smell shy. But that purifies us. Like we get things from holding Job 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High corrected. And how did he correct them? He chastened them. And what's the chastening? Those episodes of affliction, episodes of catching hell, that was purifying you because he's making you basically a virgin again.
Right, man.
All right?
So we all got to walk, that's a hopeful event. We all have to walk through that straight gate.
That straight gate, yeah. Therefore despise not the chastening of the Almighty, for he maketh sore and bindeth up. He wounded and he make hands, and his hands make whole.
Yeah, so basically, the Most High beat his wife throughout the earth. Because ain't the earth his house? That's right. See, he beat his woman all through his house, man. You see?
In every room, every corner.
Every room.
You know? Like Jake in prison, saying, Jake called his Lord, and one day, the work was in prison. He tell them me that work, and he be getting to me, so I'm going to make your back to every wall in this shop.
And then he beat it in every room, right? But then it say the other nations, they sing our chastity. Like you feel your wife, the neighbors can hear a woman screaming. Like damn, they going in.
Then they see the finale, you get your ass throughout, you know, bloody, you know, limping. That really was that transatlantic. It really started in 70 AD. That was the Most High through the Romans putting his foot, all right, against our people getting their ass out of there, man.
And that's why I said I polluted my inheritance. Now you go into the word inheritance, it go back to possession. That word inheritance in that scripture is an archaic word which means possession. That's why it says, where there's no heads, the possession is spoiled. So he sent us off to the heathens and say, fuck it and be with them niggas. Yeah. And verse 18 again. When he make it whole, when he make it sore and bind it up, he wounded and his hands make whole. He should deliver thee in 6 trouble. You were talking about this earlier. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
My servant should eat.
In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. And destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Hey, hopefully, man, we're gonna have that spiritual insurance coverage amongst us, man. You know what I'm saying? Our loved ones, man. But these other people, they're gonna be liabilities out here, you know? Hey, some back you all up. Like this Lamentations 2 and 4. He had bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. Here's the point. The Lord was as an enemy, man. You know?
And that's the results. You know, that's the results of our disobedience, man. The Lord became our enemy, man. He went in on us, man. But it said he wounded, like you said, he chastised the wound and he healed. So now we in the healing phase. You know, that black eye, you know, the broken bones, they being healed now.
What it says, Jeremiah? I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. Showing you that wound was the result of slavery, man. So you're still speaking out of time, all right?
Yeah, just real quick. All right, Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 30. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil.
And we'll get chastised as a nation. But on a more personal level, that was the Most High taking us from our nation and started purifying us, man. That's why it says in Thessalonians that that chastening is a token the Most High is dealing with us, man. But the blueness of the wound cleanses away evil, showing you that what was happening on the global level to us, that was chastening, man. All right?
So do stripes the inward parts of the belly.
Hey, so do stripes the inward part of the belly, which is your spirit, your soul. So that's chastening, man. He's making you pure, man.
You think about it, Howard Shine was the ultimate example. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he had to go through his different stripes, he had to pay back for his sins as those previous, you know, reincarnations, man. And just think about what position that he has in the kingdom right now, man. So he's waiting for it to be manifested in this earthly realm. So we gotta go through those same stripes, man.
So the ass whooping, I tell you, the ass whooping is still something to you, man. Especially when you're young. Like, you can tell the difference in adults from adults that used to get their ass whooped, you know, and adults that didn't. Because someone who never really just got humbled down by getting their ass beat, you know, they have this energy that they can do anything. They can say anything, you know. Like, consequences don't exist. That's why you see a lot of these niggas in the street, they do all this shit because they never had that ride. You see?
Ride of correction.
Yeah, see, when you, it's something in you, like, even like as adults, like even if we see, you know, elderly people that we don't even know, it's gonna be some type of form of respect. But they will beat in us, man. You see?
Say yes, sir.
They will beat in us, man. Hey, the worst whooping I got, I'll never forget, is when I called, I think I about 3rd grade, and I called a grown man a lie, and my mother found out. That was the longest she ever whooped me, man. I'll never forget that, man. But see, now, as we get older, we see that the thought process has limitations, you know? So you can get a lot of whooping, but see, rarely you get whooped for the same shit. It be new shit you find out you can't do, you know? So, that's how about Shemal Shah is doing with us, man. Because if you spare the ride, you know, hey, your child is going, he have a mindset, ain't no limitation. Ain't no such thing as consequence.
Hey, well, that's what he called us in Ezekiel 16th chapter. He was basically saying you move like an imperious horse. An imperious horse like a woman that you can't tell her shit. She got that authoritative superiority complex, you know?
Hey, what Brother Yasha just said, you think about that movie Boys in the Hood, you know? You know what I'm saying? With Trey, you know, he was his father, you know, was real strict on him. He couldn't go out and hang with the kids, you know. But you think about the other group with Doughboy, what's the brother Ricky? You know what I'm saying? Hey, they had no type of consequences, man. They pretty much, going back, hey, they ain't have like no consequences, especially Dope Boy. When you say, oh, he had no money, they going to the store. He said he going anyway, meaning that he was going to steal, man. So he got no type of ride of correction. But even though that's a movie, but it's an imitation of real life. What happened to Dope Boy? What happened to Ricky, man? You know?
And the scripture goes into, I don't know exactly what it is, if a child, pretty much a child disobeys or being just unruly to his parents, that his lamp shall be put out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, you always heard it coming up, man. Even before, like, we just, got into the scriptures, they always say, you disrespect your parents, or, the elderly, your days gonna be short on the earth, man. Yeah. That's always been instilled in us in the spirit, you know?
That's right. This is the book of Psalm 89 and 31. If they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes.
Yep. Hey, so showing you like going to like the earth is the Most High house, you know? Cause hey, your mother, your father, sometimes they will grab anything and beat your ass with it, man. Well, the Most High grabbed Esau, and beat the nation of Israel ass, man. You know? He just grabbed something close to him.
Yeah.
You see, but what happened was that Esau got proud, like he was the one, he was the source. All right, he was just a weapon of choice from the Most High, man. You know?
Somebody, Elder Brother, read it again. Psalm 89 and 30. If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgments.
Right, because the Lord speaking about David, and his brothers coming into this knowledge, the hopeful day. That's the house of David, man. So the Lord whooped us, but then when you keep reading, go ahead, bro.
Then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes.
Right, go ahead.
Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail.
Right, so in the same breath, the Lord will turn around and have mercy, man. In particular, on his men, all right, the Israel of the Most High, all right? You got it, bro.
My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David.
Yeah, because King David was promised an eternal kingdom, man. All right? And it's going to be fulfilled by way of Yahweh. All right? Like, you got it, bro.
His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me.
That sounds like immortality. Yep. Because now it's an attack on immortality, man. How can you be against that?
They don't want it.
It's an attack. Like I said, he said his seed forever, man.
Yep.
And that's a promise from the Most High. So now what we're seeing is a great rebellion amongst, Israel that's taking place, man. There's a live rebellion going on against the truth, and things are being disposed, man. But that's a spirit, man. That's another precept that proves immortality, man. Kingdom gotta be.
Hey, this is Isaiah 10 and 5. O Assyria, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation.
Hey, the Lord is going to, like I say, it's going to be the last time when he utilize Esau to punish his people. But see, the elect are going to be exempt from this go around. This time it's just going to be the undesirables, man. He's going to use Esau to really, do a cleansing, a purging of the unwanted of our people, man. Esau is going to be a weapon of choice this last time, before he's judged, man. Go ahead.
Yep. I would send him against a hypocritical nation.
Yep. And this is a very hypocritical nation, man. Especially amongst the circumcision, man. This is a very hypocritical nation amongst the circumcision, those that know that they're Israelites in this time, man. Because you got Jake there to push, the Old Testament like they just so law-abiding, but then they'll teach with hats on, Yeah. You see, Jake is very contradictory, man.
But you know what? But they don't believe in the New Testament. I guess because, hey, 1 Corinthians 11, you don't want to hear what the Apostle Paul got to say. But it's funny because the Lord really didn't trip you guys up.
Yep.
In fact, you reading and prophesying with that hat, your spiritual receptors blocked, man.
That's right.
You know, so the Spirit ain't dealing with you guys.
Yeah, prophesying with your head covered is abomination to Yahweh Shem Shai. How can you expect to be received from the heavens when you're doing that which the Heavenly Father does not like? And then another contradictory fact is the simple fact that people say such and such was just a man, or such and such was just a man. So who the hell are you?
Right.
Yeah.
We're all just men.
Why should your words be taken serious?
That's right. You know?
He's a chief Levitical high priest.
Ruling chief.
Ruling chief. Okay,
Current ruler, chief. Yep, so it says, I will send him against a hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge.
Yeah, see, the Lord has wrath. You see, and the only way to appease that wrath, you know, is to do what? Conform to your house shot. So right now, you know, your house shot, the Holy Israelite, he's not pitched there. Because your house shot was completely obedient. You know? So if you cool with your house shot, all right, you get a pass, man. But everyone that's on the outside, he gonna run through, man. You know, because he can't use you, man. You know, you're not an asset, man. You know?
And you know how they show that Jake, you know, that celebrity Jake, you know, going to the VIP line?
Yep.
And his entourage right behind him, like, hey, they good, you know what I'm saying? So that's how your house shot doing his joint heirs, bro.
Yeah, he's that mediator, man. What you think they, you know, the house shot just sitting there, and the Heavenly Father just sitting there like statues? All right, he's mediating. They having conversation, man. That's his son. You know, they having conversation about what's going on in the earth. They having counsel, man. All right, what we see going back and forth. You don't think the house shot the Most High is having a conversation about what's going on in the earth, man? You know, hey, that's the thing that's going on. No one's considering the house by Shemal Shai and everything that's going on, man. How do they feel about this? You know?
It says, against the people of my wrath, I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and tread them down like the mire of the street.
And tread them down like the mire of the street. Hey, because they gonna run through Jake, man. Esau, when he really unleashed these militias, these UN troops, because the UN troops are already at the border. That's the border patrol. All right? Who you think down there at the border? That's UN troops. That's your border patrol, man. All they gonna do is come inland, man. They already on deck, man. You know, when that pandemic first jumped off, I used to see so many military personnel just in Kroger. You know, they on deck. Everybody, how about Shemal Shai, all right, is doing nothing but setting the stage for a great slaughter, and it's a lot of you Israelites gonna get caught up in it, man. Because that's another thing Jake hate to hear about Israelite, you know, getting put to death. Well, you just wait and see till it start happening. We talking about it, man. You wait and see till it start happening, man. You know? Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 44, starting in verse 4. Howbeit, I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness.
Yeah, hey, because niggas hate correction, man. Because nigga coaching, correction is a strike against your ego. If this brother correct me, you know, if nigga coaching, if he corrects me, especially, you know, in front of an audience, you know, it's like he belittled me in front of people, man. You know? And this is the mindset of the majority of our people, even those that know that they're Israelites, man. They cannot take correction, man. Like you see what's spiraling out of control with Sakari, it goes from one correction and them trying to constantly cover it up, and they're getting deeper and deeper into a hole by trying to cover up that one correction, man. You know? Go ahead.
To burn no incense unto other gods.
Yeah, to burn the incense in this modern time would be giving your energy to other guys, man. Because our people actually burn incense to idols, you know, back then, but now in this modern form when everything is about technology, man, it's about giving your energy to these guys, man. You know, you got people that worship social media, man. You got people that worship money, worship women, worship fame. You see? They worship these things, man. You know, and they give their energy to you. Go ahead.
Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are waste and desolate as at this day.
And we're gonna see the same thing. It's gonna be these neighborhoods that niggas love to rep and claim and got it tattooed on them. It's gonna be uninhabited, man. Esau gonna run clean through them.
Yep.
All right, projects, old block. You know, niggas make whole songs about these little projects. Esau gonna run through all of them, man.
right.
It's already said that's the reason that them projects got them X's on it, man.
Yeah.
For them targets, man. Drone strikes, man.
Well, they showed in the movie with that brick mansion.
Yeah. That's why you see that a lot in New York. Yeah. You know, seems like an X at the top.
Yeah, you got that, bro.
Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 8. I gotta start up, bro.
Yeah, you got
I'm
that.
gonna start at verse 6. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 6. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in thine eyes? Saith Yahweh of hosts. Thus saith Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country.
Yeah, this is a global, all right, it's gonna be a global salvation, man. Yahweh Shai say, you know, how at that last trump, he gonna come deliver the elect from the four winds, man. You see? Then this is what we're building up to, man. This is why we're excited, you know, about what's going on, because we know what it leads up to, man. You know? Go ahead.
And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power.
Yeah, and that's going back to that what? The union of Israel, all right, in their power through Yahweh Shai. You know, we're going to be we're going to be joined back together, man. And see, and we're going to be, you know, the temple. The being of Israel will be that temple, man. All right, where the presence of the Lord dwells, man. Everywhere in the kingdom, everywhere that the Israelite man, that's going to be like it's a temple there. You know, like Esau has all his embassies. You know, it's like that's a piece of America. You know, in that place where every Israelite man in the kingdom is going to be a piece of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, wherever he's at, man. You know, the presence of the Yahweh Bashem Al Shai will be there.
Yeah, holy priesthood.
Yep.
In truth and in righteousness.
Yep, in truth and in righteousness. Go ahead.
Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Shai of hosts, let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets.
By the mouth of the prophet, let your hands be strong, man. All right? Because if you on the front line, all right, you should be excited like if you in the actual war and you see your enemy, you know, you got them backpedaling, that should excite you, man. And this man is backpedaling, man. We're on the internet teaching the Bible, and this man is striking our channels, you know. You really can't say nothing, all right, about his agenda, you know. This man is on the back foot.
He on defense.
Yeah, he on the defense. You see? He got, you know, he got to get, you know, guys to do something crazy. Like, what's the guy, Ozone? You know, they had the fringes on, supposedly shot the cop. You know, he got the Moors, you know, the rise of the Moors. This nigga is desperate, man. Those are desperate attempts, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Esau's that UFC fighter that know he can't beat you, but his daddy owns the organization.
Yeah, yeah.
He said,
yeah.
I probably can't beat you, but I can keep you from competing.
Yeah.
And that's Esau's weak attempts.
Yeah.
He tried cocaine in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he has that particular type of upper hand. And that's it.
So losing. Go ahead.
Which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahweh Bashem Shai of hosts was laid.
Yeah, and this foundation of the house, all right, that spiritual house, all right, it started with Elder Albert Bivens, you know, the elders under him, all the way down to our elders apostles today, all right? Because those men were the pillars followed, Elder Albert Bivens, King Masha, you know, Papa Yaqua, man, you know, those men were the pillars of what we have entered into today. And see, we're building on another man's foundation. You see? And our people have refused to hearken, you know, until the prophets, man, whom the Lord had chosen to build, you know, the house of David in the latter times, man. Go ahead.
which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built.
Go ahead.
For before these days there were no hire for man.
And see, these are times that we're finna come into now. There's gonna be no hire for men. And see, people now are really relaxed, because they're getting so really people is getting a form of what you call it, residual income, from the government basically, man. You see, but it's gonna come a time when it's gonna be shut off, and you're gonna have to conform to them. And see, this second lockdown, this gonna be the headshot to a lot of businesses, man. Go ahead.
And you think about what he saw with this previous lockdown he did. He's going to try to overtop what he did last year. You know what I'm saying? He has, that's what Elder Pastor Renlock brought out through the Spirit. He has to top out or overtop what he did the last time.
Right. Fauci said that too. He said the next one would definitely get everyone's attention. Gates said that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And me just speaking as a man, I really think it's going to get really hard in the winter because right now, people can still grow their food and stuff because, it's hard. They got their gardens and everything. But once that cold comes and nothing's wrong, and they stop these trucks around, people are not going to have that easy access to food other than probably what they maybe store it up. You know what I'm saying? Versus it being to go out there and eat the whole summer long. In the winter, you're going to have a problem.
Through the Spirit. Yahushua did say that.
Pray first.
That saying, before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast. Neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction.
Yeah, this is the chaos. And you see, I think they say gun violence will 42%. Chaos gonna increase, man. And it's gonna constantly, especially when they take food away, from the equation, man. When they take their food away from the equation, it's gonna be bananas out here, man. You see in South Africa, man, those people loot and the military just picking them off, man. Live rounds, man. You see, Cuba, chaos. Haiti, chaos, man. Greece, chaos.
I'm telling you about the documentary, How to Become a Tiger.
Yeah.
That was one of the methods that I think his name was Kim Jong-il, the father of North Korea.
Oh yeah.
That was one of his methods, man, is when they start having a famine. It was like he just thought about it, was like, well, if I let them starve out, when I do get ready to start bringing these unrighteous decrees, there'll be less people to rise up against me.
Yeah.
So he started killing them off by famine.
I got a piece of it.
All right, 2nd Ezra 15:12. Edom shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague of punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it.
Yep, and see, Esau is being used to bring a lot of these plagues, and then it's gonna get to the point where the Most High gonna intervene, a lot, man. He's gonna intervene. He's gonna send these angels out here to really manipulate things in the earth, man. It's gonna be, you can imagine, hurricanes becoming more intense, storms becoming more intense, these mass shootings becoming more intense and more frequent.
Right.
You see, this is the birth pains of chaos, man.
Yeah.
It's a gradual build up, man. Esau, all he's doing is he's wearing like you saying UFC, because in UFC, a lot of times you're wrestling, you're really just trying to wear him out, your opponent out. You get on the ground with him, you try to make him utilize all his energy to get out from up under you, and then eventually once he stop moving and he open that neck up, that's when you lock it in. You see?
That's what happened to that Jake when we was in New Orleans. Yeah, when I got her. Yeah. Hey, cause he landed on my ankle, and had me limping, So he had the upper hand in the first beginning, but then he got tired, cause I never stopped moving, and we kept grappling. So then he just gave up trying to lock up, and that's why I went with the haymaker on him. It was over with then, and put him in a submission.
And that's what Esau doing to the masses, right? He wearing, even with this mask. He's slowly wearing you out with this mask. He has you breathing in toxins all day, man. It's a slow choke out, man.
That's it.
This man, he's getting you to the point where you wheezy, then he just gonna open up, man.
Hey, because he had you with a mask on for an entire year.
Yeah.
So that prevented you from being able to consume a lot of those particular antis and pro organisms out there to help build up your immune system.
Yep.
So then now all of a sudden you take your mask off and now you're vulnerable.
Yep.
That's Esau's whole agenda of things, man.
This nigga enticed so many people that they got the mask on inside their cars by themselves. Now, who can do that, man? That's something, you know?
With the jab. With the jab. With mainly Jake and mainly Nigga
That's
One.
all you see.
Yep.
2 Ezra 15 and 13. They that till the ground shall mourn. You were speaking on that.
Hey, because agriculture is being punished, man. So you gotta think only 1% of the American population farm. And you do the math, it's over 300 million Americans. All right, 1% of that is 3 million. So you got 3 million farmers. You know, a little bit over 3 million farmers in America, and it's a big attack on agriculture, man. You know, they coming up with so many restrictions. You know, you had this thing talking about how really the farmers going to go to war. You know, with the feds. You see, they were talking about that because they were making it damn near impossible to farm, man.
All right, 2 Ezra 15:13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for the sea shall fail to the blasting in hell with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Yep, and the weapons, man. And America is the most weaponized place on earth, man.
Right.
You know, everyone has a weapon, man. This is the only place where a 13, 14-year-old go on a killing spree, man.
Right.
You know, where is he getting these weapons? Where does he keep getting the reload from? You know, who's watching this nigga, man?
Yeah. Or the mentality to even commit such atrocities,
Yeah.
right?
But he's been what? He's been bred up,
That's right.
seeing it in his neighborhood, hearing it in the music,
Yep.
playing it on the video game. So really, it's normal to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the top game in America? What is it?
Call of
Black
Duty.
Ops, Call of Duty. You know, you're conditioned, you know, to hunt people, man.
Hey, man, hey, from Natural News, they said South African chaos will come to America. Farms burned, power infrastructure destroyed, root aloft, and total collapse.
Yep.
And here's the point right here. This is all by design, and the situation is rapidly imploding into a failed state like civil war.
Yep.
It says there are key realizations you need to grasp about what's happening in South Africa. This engineered chaos is coming to America and other Western nations soon.
It's an engineered chaos.
Engineered
and
chaos.
then what's another thing they're throwing out there? The cyber attacks. You know, all Esau is doing, he's putting things out there so you can have all these different, you know, avenues and speculation on why this happened, but you're still not directly blaming him, man.
Yeah, he deflected.
Yeah. You know, ain't no damn cyber attack, man. He's doing that at will, man. You know, talking about Russian cyber fleet, you know, they want $40 million to turn the, you know, the power back on.
Right.
You know, come on, man. Like niggas in the basement just, you know, yeah.
It's the same narrative, man, with the war on terrorism.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
It's an invisible enemy.
An invisible
He
enemy.
can just say, yeah, so it's a Russian, you know, hacking group. You know, go ahead.
2, the destruction of infrastructure will lead to long-term destitution, famine, collapse, and war.
Yep.
The police are overrun and out of ammunition. They are largely helpless against the looting masses.
Yeah, and what they're saying about the police, defund the police.
Right.
All right, and you got, you know, I think it's over 30% of police that are retiring, and then you have over 18, all right, police officers that are resigning. 18% of the police officers are resigning. And like we was, Flint, Michigan, all right, where they had 100 officers to police 100,000 people, man. You know, that's why Flint, Michigan was down there, the murder capital for a while, because, you know, it was purposely, you know, under police, so Jay can just kill each other off, man.
Yeah, it's a social experiment, man.
Yep. You know, the like Esau's doing this real time, man.
Yep.
It's just normal because you always hear niggas rap about it. You know, your favorite rapper raps about this so much that it's normal for niggas to get their block rolled off, man.
Right. Niggas,
You know?
niggas die every day.
Yeah, niggas die every day, man. You see, and it's glorified.
Yep.
Yeah, they showed it on the show Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
They had an episode. Yeah, Elder Apostle Bar brought it out, and we saw the episode where basically the power went out or something. Something happened to where eventually everybody in the town started to uproar and go crazy. But then basically the government agents were like on top of the hill looking down at the town like, yup, it's happening. Like assessing it through experiments.
Yeah,
Like they set it up. Like I just 2 Ezra 15:16. For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions that stand in their power.
Yeah, the local government, you know, the federal government.
Yeah.
You see, and they all put things in your sub-country, man, like they capital city ride. You know, January 6th.
Yep.
They put in people's sub-country to do these things, man. And then they push that to also, you know, say, well, see, this is why we have to do censorship because this is what it can lead to.
Yeah, and they'll show Esau for a minute, but this is the reason why they want the censorship right here.
Right.
You know, they try to make it seem quote unquote fair.
Yeah, equal.
You know,
And it goes right back into Exodus, the 1st chapter, man. And when that new Pharaoh, you know, when he looked at these people, he said they are more and mightier than we. You know? And that's Esau's mentality as well. That's why it's easy to be acceptable to Esau rides and saying, look at these good Americans. But we could be just angry or upset. Oh my God.
Extremists.
You know, extremists. Radicals.
And then you think Trump, you know, is fighting to get back on Twitter. All right? Trump don't give a damn about no Twitter, man. He's just a character, all right, that they're utilizing for an agenda, man.
He old and bored, man. He's been a billionaire all his freaking life, man.
yeah. What's one of the statements he made? He was on one of the talk shows. He said, "Well, the next thing I'm gonna do is just run for president." But he said it jokingly.
Like
he
you
ended up
something
doing
to do,
it.
man. You know?
He was down about this shit.
Right.
And it's 4. Only civilian security forces, i.e. militias, are providing effective safety and security for residential communities.
Yep. Hey, because pretty soon, you know, it's gonna be neighborhoods governing themselves, man.
Yeah.
I say it's gonna get real bad, man. That's why, you know, scripture talk about that Isaiah 4:1. You know, and because it's gonna come a time where ain't gonna be no police to call, man.
And that's starting to happen now.
Yeah.
Every inner city, the crime rate's so high, police can't possibly,
Yeah.
they can't be in every place at one time.
So they really got pride towards what they respond to. You know, they're not coming to someone breaking their Walgreens. See, they ain't coming to domestic violence, man. You know, it really got to be life-threatening for them to even respond, man. And see, it's going to get worse. And it's all by design, man. They making it very uncomfortable to be a police officer, man.
And they always come late anyway.
Yeah.
And what movie that was when they was alluding to that story? The police saw it, and you know, he witnessed it. And he just went in there and started stealing as well.
Yeah.
I forgot what movie that was, man. But it's just letting you know what's imitated throughout these movies is going to come to life, man.
Yeah, he's gonna get some food for his family and back home.
Yeah. You know? Hey, at 5 it says, food is extremely scarce. Mass famine has already begun. Those who did not prep in advance may die. You know, through the spirit, we already know.
Yeah, prepping. Because they said talking about the mass famine, and famine doesn't mean, you know, that there's no food.
Right.
It just means that you don't have access to it. You know?
Right.
Hey, because you gotta understand, like when this is this money, because we are in the midst of an inflation now.
Right.
But what if it goes to hyperinflation? All right, you're not gonna be able to pay those truck drivers because if gas goes to $20 a gallon, you know how much it would cost to get goods sent to the grocery stores and, you know, steel to get sent from across state to state. You know, it'll be too unbearable. Then they gotta try to pay, you know, because if gas is $20 an hour and you make $15 an hour, well, it don't make sense to go to work. You know,
Especially if you live like
Yeah.
30 minutes to an hour to the job.
and then groceries, your weekly grocery went from $100 to $800, but you only get $400 a week. You know?
We're gonna be a breatharian.
Yeah. So this thing gets real bad, and what's gonna happen? You know, you're gonna go to them scraps. Everybody gonna get them tuners out, man. You know?
It's number 6. Gun control means you die because only those with firearms are able to defend themselves and stop the looting mob.
Yeah. And it's gonna be different militias and cliques, those that form. Get that in 2 Ezra 13. 30. It's finna go down. It's finna be a lot of division. It's gonna be a real grimy society, man.
Yep, dog eat dog.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I would say the hearts of many
Shall wax cold.
shall wax cold.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause that neighbor that you've been, chilling out on the porch with, drinking a beer with, laughing and chilling and shit. Hey, that same neighbor gonna be at your head when he ain't got nothing in his stomach, man. You know he done been all through your house. He knows that's why Scripture goes into about being cautious of who you let come in your home.
right.
So he done scouted you out throughout these years, days, and months or whatever. So he know what you got in there, and he know what he ain't got.
Like Alex Jones, he said, I'm eating my neighbor.
I'm eating my neighbor.
What I
Right,
said,
Yeah,
I said, my girls are not starving.
That's right.
Eat like that.
And that joker who been smiling, always speaking at your old lady while you wasn't around, man.
Yep.
He waiting for his opportunity.
Yep.
You know,
And get real grimy out here.
real
man.
grimy,
You
man.
know, there's gonna be a lot of bodies, and the Most High gonna bring this chaos. Because people have this mindset of what everybody is. Elder Bun said, everybody's unfuck with them.
Yeah.
Nobody can take a loss.
Right. Just hard.
Yeah, God damn.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. So the Most High gonna say, bet, prove.
Yep.
He gonna fall back and say, prove. Everybody gonna get their try. These dykes, these big ass pants on, right?
buggy
Yeah, with the blonde dreads with the bald side. All right. Everybody finna get their chance to be as tough as they say.
That's right.
That's the time we're coming into.
That's
man.
right. You women say you don't need no man.
Yeah.
You women who say your man ain't SHIT.
Yeah.
Yeah, not trash, niggas ain't shit.
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna test that theory.
Bro, it's gonna get bad, man. And because I think the majority, everyone in the truth has had a particular dream or vision of the end, man. To where buildings have been on fire, to where you have seen complete chaos in the street, where you see bodies all around you. Refresh your memory on that, man. And because the Most High gave you something for your, what would you call your rotary, your mental rotary. The Most High gave you that for you, man. And because what you saw in that particular night vision, man, is something that the Heavenly Father has truly forecasted in the very near future.
Like you said, it's like a movie trailer.
Yep.
You get a little piece of the movie
That's
trailer.
it. Because it's a small snippet.
Yep. I remember El Yashawama, I don't know if y'all brothers remember the vision he had when he was talking about the troops were coming through the hoods. And he said Jake was trying to shoot, but the bullets that Jake was shooting wasn't affecting the troops. And he said the troops was just annihilating Jake. Just annihilating niggas, man.
That could be those robotic soldiers. They saw that.
Yeah. I think the brother said he got a war crime, like Elisha did when he came with the Syrian thing. He came crying to him, and he asked him why. He was like, because I know what you're going to do to Israel. Man.
He brought that out too. Brought that same
That
stuff.
was
And a lot of children was dying too.
The brother Anak, he had a vision of Zechariah, was that 14? How they to fight against Jerusalem. How they eyes gonna burn out their socket, their tongues gonna burn while they on their feet. And he said the process seemed real slow. He said the process seemed slow. He said he seen a lot of Israelites, man.
I got a real quick one. Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants the prophets.
Yeah, see, you're getting the truth. Like you can go to these different truthers and alternative news, but see, this the real skinny right here, man.
Right.
This the pure source of what's finna happen and why it's happening, man. And who's doing it? Who's in control of it, man? All right, he gonna reveal these things to his prophets, man. These things are going to happen. This is not speculation, because these truthers they go into all these different details of what's going on, but then they'll backtrack and try to say this is what we're gonna do to stop it. No, it's gonna happen. Ain't no stop button, man. Ain't no brakes on this car, man. You see, prophecy going full speed ahead, and all it's doing is speeding up. Hey, because July, it's the 17th. Hey, June seems so long and drugged out.
You know, but
Hey, bro, my daughter just told me like literally yesterday. She said, "Daddy, can you believe it's already almost the end of 2021?
yeah.
It's gonna be 2022 in like 6 months.
That's
July
strange. You got
just
little kids,
started,
man.
10 years old, man.
Cause Jay just celebrated the 4th, then.
Yeah,
And
literally.
it's the 17th now, man. You know?
Makes the time short.
Hey, he's sweet. Like July was drug out. You know, he saw was doing that wicked shit, that pride shit.
June.
Yeah, that vexing shit. But then like July hitting the gas, man. You know?
Hey, you totally defeatable. And you are totally defeatable if you got time against you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with Esau with his rulership, you know, with 2/3 of our people in these other nations, they want to think that things gonna get back to normal. Hey, if you got time against you, man, what can you do about
Can't
that?
win.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Times on your side.
Yeah.
Cause how you gonna fight Esau and then turn around and go to work?
Yeah.
Like time is against you. You still gotta pay bills and take care of your family. Then fight the power. Like
You got
Yeah, Revelation 12:12.
Yeah.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
And see, that's why scriptures say our conversation shall be in the heaven. Hey, because it's really like we're citizens of the kingdom. We're citizens in the kingdom already, man. The way we conduct ourselves, all right. Even as we've been out here for hours having a conversation that no one else in the city is talking about. You see, so we're already the kingdom. Yep. We're already within the because what say about how the kingdom is within
It's
you.
within you.
You see? So we're rejoicing at what we see happening, man, because we believe that we have a position in the society to come.
It's like it's already manifesting as though it's still yet not here.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
you know, as heavy as like that saw Raven.
Yeah.
Raven Simone.
Oh, right.
She could zero in to the future, but then she'll come back to the present.
Yeah.
So this she already knows what she's about to walk into. See, in the spirit, the spirit of power, how about I shy, he fast forward us into the future, but then we come back to the present and gotta deal with the bills and our job.
Yeah.
But we know what's happening.
Yeah.
And we know, like even when we watch the news, we know what all this gonna lead to.
Right.
You know?
You got it, bro.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yeah, see, Esau Edom is going to come down with great wrath and say, they that dwell in the earth. All right? You people, that's what the house I say, I'm from above, you from beneath. You see? Because you inhabitants of the earth. All right? All you can think about is the reality Esau has given you, man. You can't think outside, you can't think above the ceiling that Esau Edom has made for you, man. You know, and you're going to be the ones who the Lord is going to put the spirit on Esau to come down with great wrath, man. And he's going to be allowed to get at you, man. But see, with the elect, he's not going to be able to have his way with the elect, man. See, there's a standard coming against the devil in this time, man. So when he do come in like a flood, you know, of course, some brothers got to fulfill their lot, you know, and die for their testimony, you see. But it's not going to be the case all the way around the board. No, eventually standard going to be lifted, and then devil's not going to be able to deal with it, man. You know? Right. You got that, boy. Yeah, we can hit him.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, starting at verse 29.
Yep.
Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
And the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. It's going to start with us being delivered from different circumstances within Jacob's trouble, all the way up to the ultimate deliverance, you know, at the second coming of Yahweh Shai.
Right.
You know? So that's why the scripture talk about how faith shall increase, man. We're going to be getting so many faith boosters in these times, man. The Lord going to come through, you know. Our faith, we're going to be lit, man. While these people are getting broken down, busted up, because you already have suicide rates through the roof, you know, mental hospitals. I think it was in LA. They got mental hospitals that can't accept any more patients, man. People losing it, man. You know? But the men of the Lord gonna be lit in the earth, man. You see?
Right.
It's a sign, like I said, in Daniel.
Yep.
It's a spark and shine.
On to and fro,
Yep.
like the sparks.
Hey man, it's gonna be something that make several women come to us, man.
Yep.
No, especially bougie ass Eve.
Yep.
Eve will like your ass and don't say shit because she feel like, man, I ain't finna say nothing.
Right.
Yep.
But that's just,
Yeah.
they can't hear the words.
You got it.
Verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another.
One shall undertake to fight against another. Go ahead.
One city against another.
Yep.
One place against another.
Yep.
One people against another. And one realm against
So
another.
it's gonna be going down at every level, man. From neighbor to neighbor, from city to city, state to state. All right, nation against nation, man. You see? But see, it's not gonna be that we're not gonna be caught in this big battle royal that's gonna happen on the earth. And thus said the Lord. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 8. So like I'm gonna go back to where I left off at. All right, verse 10. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction.
Yep.
For I set all men, every one against his neighbor.
Go ahead. You read.
But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days.
I will not be to the residue, the remnant, the elect, as in the former days, because we will all get punished as a nation together. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord of hosts. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their due.
Yep.
And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things.
So the remnant is about to come possess all these things, man. We finna get everything, man. The remnant. You see? So
Yep.
the Most High is not going to take the remnant what he's about to take everyone else to, man. That's why we'll take that sacrifice now, man. You know?
And that's why we've been catching hell now.
Yep.
He was purifying us, so we won't have to get judged with the world.
Yep. They would say, hey, nothing to lose, everything to gain, man. That's the mentality you gotta have. Nothing to lose, everything to gain,
Right.
man.
But we already lost. We've been taking L's, man. We've been taking L's. It's all good.
Hey, Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die.
Yeah, that's 2/3. That's where you get the infamous 2/3. You know, crew. Go ahead.
But the third should be left therein.
The third should be left therein, which that 1/3, that remnant, that residue. All right, that remainder. Go ahead.
That's the point you all said. Verse 9, I will bring the third part through the fire.
Through the fire, you go to the word, the Hebrew word for fire is ash. And one of the definitions is the Most High's anger. You see, Jacob's trouble is a display of the Most High's anger. You see, in the earth, especially against Israel, man, for their rebellion, man. You see, but the residue, that remnant gonna be bought through that. Go ahead.
You know, also you think about it right now, you know, you think about with the hopeful elect, you know, we consider that spiritual. So we're catching those spiritual nukes. But 2/3 of our people, they consider carnal, so they're going to receive the carnal nukes. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it says, I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They should call on my name, and I will hear them.
Yeah, because we're going to sincerely call on those names for salvation in that day, man. All right? Because Most High, Yahweh Shema Shah knows the hearts of men. He knows who's calling on him in sincerity to deliver, man. You know, and he knows who's just putting on. You see, it's a lot of faking and shaking. You're going to get stopped in Israel too, man. You just wait and see, man. See, everything is still cute right now, man. Everything is still, you know, a Facebook post. You see? But pretty soon, man, it's gonna be like the Most High. The Most High gonna reach out and touch people. You know, he gonna take away people from the scene. You know, then we'll see, man. You got it.
I would say it is my people. They should say the Lord is my power.
Yep, that's us being drawn back to our power. Yeah.
The second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 32. And the time shall come, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before, and saw it before then my son be declared,
Yep.
whom thou sawest as a man ascend.
Yep. And that's going to Yahweh Shai, because everyone is waiting for the, because really everybody anticipates Yahweh Shai. Even if you think his name Jesus Christ, you know, there's still an anticipation. That's really what everyone, you know, everything that we talk about, you know, we go into all these different topics, but really the anticipation of the earth is the second coming of the Messiah, man. Because that's when all truth gonna be revealed.
That's the centerpiece.
Yeah, that's the big anticipation in the earth, man. You know, the second coming. And see, we pray to be in good favor, man. Hey, how good it's gonna feel when Yahweh Shai come back, man, and you find out you're a joint heir, man. You know, of this mighty power that's taking over the earth, man. You see? And that's why, hey, we fully, you know, we are fully invested into this, man. Because ain't nothing gonna be like having the favor of Yahweh Shai as he's conquering the earth, man. You know?
All right. Hey, well, with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. And once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honor to our apostles, great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of everything elect. A Bible ball!
Bible ball!
Come down, shalom!
Come down, shalom!
How about Shema, Shalom?
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom.